So you want to help people. You got a degree, you opened a practice, you're a coach, a counselor, or a consultant, but you still having a little trouble crossing over that six-figure mark. I got you. Come on in. Let's talk about the 6 steps you can take to hit 6 figures and beyond in your business. Now, if this is your first time catching one of my videos, my name is Carolyn Day. I have been a coach and a consultant for almost 10 years. And I started when I was working as a school counselor. I started this as a side hustle. And this business has grown and allowed me to leave my job as a full-time school counselor, replace my income, and also give myself a bigger, more illustrious quality of life as I have more freedom and more flexibility with my time. But I'm also having a greater impact. So if that's something you're interested in, more impact and more income without giving up more of your time, come on in, because that's what I'm all about. Now, let's talk about some of the reasons why coaches, counselors, and consultants generally don't hit the 6-figure or beyond mark. Now, most kind of top out somewhere around 50 to maybe 75,000 if they're doing pretty good, but they don't generally hit that 6-figure mark. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, I would say that is the most common that I see, is that we're trading time for money. Generally, people pay for a 1-hour session or a 53-minute session with you as a coach or a counselor. Generally, if you're going into consulting, you're going to be charging them for a package that includes a certain number of hours or a certain number of workshops or a certain number of events. So because you're always trading time for money, even if you continue to raise your prices, you've only got a certain number of hours. So there's always going to be some type of a cap. Now, depending on where you live, that cap might be even greater, because maybe in your community or your neck of the woods, people are paying less for certain services. Maybe you want to pay, get paid more, but they're still kind of stuck in a certain income level. So that's another reason why people generally are underpaid. They're also underpaid because they haven't given the majority of their potential customers a way to pay them. If you're a coach or a counselor, for example, and the only way that I can pay you is by becoming a one-on-one client, you are leaving money on the table every single day. If you're a consultant and the only way that I can pay you is by hiring you for a 4 or 5-figure contract, you're also leaving money on the table. And so you want to give people a way to pay you even before they're ready to contract with you or work with you in an ongoing basis. So what are the 6 steps to get to 6 figures and beyond? Let's go. First and foremost, I want you to cultivate your audience. Now, I know we like to help people and we really believe that everyone can benefit from our help. And that's probably true in some way, shape, or form. But for this purpose, I want you to focus on one specific audience. I think lots of people could benefit from my business knowledge because I've been successfully building a business. But I specifically am talking to coaches, counselors, and consultants. And so in this video, I have called you out numerous times. I have called you into conversation with me numerous times. And that's what we want to do. When you cultivate a specific audience, they feel like you are speaking directly to them. That's going to grab their attention. That's going to be more of that attraction marketing, and that will save you from having to spend thousands of dollars targeting them with social media ads or other types of expensive ways of getting your word out. By being niche, it allows you to amplify your voice and make you seem like a thought leader. So an example of this might be, maybe you as a counselor work with people who have a variety of mental health diagnoses. I want you to talk for at least a period of time just about anxiety. Maybe that's just one of the reasons people might come into you. But here's what happens. If you put out a post on Instagram about anxiety, I like that post. Instagram is going to say, okay, great. She likes that. Let's show her some more. If your next post is about PTSD, I may not like that. So now you kind of confuse the algorithm and I might not give you any engagement there. So then you're not going to be seen the next time. If you for say a week or so are talking about anxiety on a consistent basis, then you're training the algorithm, hey, show me the people who have anxiety. Now at some point you can continue to add in those other topics, but you just want to be consistent for a period of time. So choose an audience that you want to serve and make sure it is specific. Next, I want you to clarify one problem that you want to solve. Again, This audience that you serve might have lots of problems. Using our example of anxiety, maybe they're having panic attacks, or they are, having social anxiety and they're refusing to engage in family activities, or maybe they're so anxious about work that they're not putting themselves up for a promotion, so it's costing them money. Maybe they want a relationship, but they're too afraid to get on a dating website. So choose a specific problem that you know a subset of your audience actually has, right? And once you're clear about that problem, I want you to talk about the problem in a couple ways. I want you to talk about what it looks like, but I also want you to talk about what it feels like, so that they begin to know and see you again as that authority figure. Now, this is the one that gets people, but if you figure this one out, you are going to be on your way to six figures and beyond. You've got to give people a simple solution. Most coaches, counselors, and consultants will never cross the six-figure mark because A, they only offer people one way to work with them, which is one-on-one, and B, everything feels complicated and hard to do. I got to go to your website, I've got to register, I've got to call your office, I've got to do all these things. And maybe that's 100% necessary as a part of your process. But for every person that doesn't engage in that process, you're leaving money on the table. So if I come to your website because I'm having a panic attack or because my anxiety is getting so bad, do you have an immediate way for me to give you some money? Right? If I go to your website at 10 o'clock at night, I know your office is not open. I'm going to call in the morning, but do you have an e-course or a video course that I could quickly download and get some immediate relief? That's going to cause me to have an impulse purchase. So you want to offer a very specific solution to a very specific problem that they might have and that they could get immediately in the form of a digital product. That's going to get you generating a payday every day in your business, which is going to amplify your income for the whole year. Now, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it because so many times in helping professions, we don't talk about sales. You've got to ask for the sale. So when you have that blog post on your site, tell people to download our ebook or purchase our video course. Put yourself out there. Make sure that people know that they have ways that they can get relief from what they're experiencing by just paying for the solution that you offer. Think of it this way. If you had a friend who had a problem and you knew you had a solution, would you hide it or would you gladly offer it to them? When you are asking for the sale, you're basically saying, can I help you? Can I give you a solution? Would you like some relief? And you're giving them a way to get it. When it's in a digital format, you're actually giving them immediate relief, which is even better. So ask for the sale. Put these products on your website. Put them prominently on your social media. Put them in your email signature. Ask for the sale everywhere so that people understand they can buy from you. Now, one of the things that has greatly impacted my business is automation. Anything you can automate, you want to put on automation. And what I mean by that is you want to stop having to do everything manually. A huge reason why people do not cross the six-figure mark is because they really have so many administrative duties. They're exhausted by the time they could actually be doing something that would leverage their income. So anything that you can set up on autopilot is great. Now, I use a couple of things that will benefit you. So I use Stand Store for my digital products that are available on social media. I also have them listed on my website, but Stand Store is where I kind of put my more popular products. And so when you have that there, Stand Store will be automatically just kind of, people can scroll there and see everything that you have available. Automation allows you to give yourself back the gift of time. That's going to make sure that you have a high quality of life in addition to this additional impact and income that you're having. So automation is setting things up on autopilot by creating a system first. Let me give you an example of a way I use automation in my business. Now, I put videos like this on my social media platforms all the time. And there's always some way in the description for you to get something from me in exchange for your email, even before I ask you for a specific sale, right? So it might be a lead magnet, an ebook, a template, a guide, something of that nature. I'm gonna put a link to that in the description of this video. And I generally put a link to that in an email that I send, which will allow you to make that purchase or make that download, purchase with your email or purchase with your dollar, depending on whether or not it's for sale. But you can do that 24/7, right? Because I have uploaded that into the server on the website or into the Stand Store or into the Flow Desk or into my website. So you can purchase that whenever you want to. I do not have to manually email you the ebook that you buy from me. I don't have to manually email you the audio meditation that you buy from me. They are already on my website. When you make the purchase, you get an email from the system that gives you what you bought. That does a couple things. Number one, it gives people instant gratification, which people love, and you are generally not able to do as a coach, counselor, or consultant. So it gives them that thing that you can't give them in other ways, but it also gives them immediate relief from the symptom that they're experiencing. There's a sense of relief that comes when I know that the solution is on the way. So it gives them that, that boost of positive neurochemicals that makes them know, like, and trust you more. It also saves you from having to spend your time. You get to do the work once and have it continue to work for you 24/7, even while you are sitting on the beach or the sideline at the soccer field, or scrolling through social media yourself. And last but certainly not least, I want you to rinse and repeat, okay? You found one audience who had one problem and you offered them one solution and you automated it. So once you've done it, it is working in the background. Now you wanna do it again. Find a new problem for that same audience and offer them a solution to that as well. Some people who struggle with anxiety also struggle with depression, or maybe they have a child with anxiety, or maybe their anxiety is causing them issues in their relationship, or maybe their anxiety is making them have a lack of confidence and holding them back in other areas of their life. Or maybe they also happen to have some grief because they've lost someone and they're anxious, right? So you want to offer them another solution and you can continue to do the same thing. Here's the great thing. Now, I use a system called Flow Desk for my email automations. And once I've created the email automation in Flow Desk, all I have to do is duplicate it. And then I'll go in and tweak a few words in the email, change out the links, and it's all set to go all over again. Once you've done the work, you can set it and forget it. Now, all these things I'm saying might sound a little bit complicated, but I learned them through a digital marketing course. So I'm gonna make sure that I have a link to that below as well, so you can check that out if that's something you're interested in. Learning these automation principles will allow you to leverage the thing that you already have, which is your knowledge and your skill, and amplify it by eliminating the time that it takes for you to do it. Now, if you have other questions or maybe specific questions about your niche in coaching, counseling, or consulting, go ahead and drop them below this video, because this is the year that you hit 6 figures and make every day payday.